Hi, parents. My name is Daniel Thompson. I'm an assistant baseball coach at Central Christian College of Kansas. Today we'll be talking about what type of risk that our student athletes are at while participating. So it's important that our coaches are also trained in basic athletic training to minimize the risk for further injury when the trainer cannot be there. In sports like football, some of the most common injuries are shoulder dislocations, knee injuries, fractures, concussions, and of course second impact syndrome, which means you had a concussion and before that one healed, you got another concussion, which can lead to brain damage. In sports like soccer, you also are at high risk for concussions, going up, heading a ball, going up to hit a ball and missing and colliding with another player. You're also at a high risk for stress fractures in the legs because of all the running that you do. And then runners, track and cross country, runners are prone to stress fractures caused by accumulation of normal microscopic fractures to the bones occurring at a rate faster than the body can repair them. And of course, any other foot, toe, or leg injury. In hockey, in a recent study done in 2016, hockey is now incurring fewer injuries than any other sport because of the restrictive rules that they've put. You can no longer take a shoulder to somebody's head to lay them out in the middle of the ice. But players are still, vulnerable to shoulder separations and concussions, and of course, loss of teeth, facial fractures, due to all the pucks that are flying around. And then, of course, in basketball, you're at risk for knee injuries mostly. You can also develop stress fractures because of all the running. And of course, you take a fall, you could fracture a wrist. Another risk that student athletes face, it's kind of a tough one to talk about, but it's death. People have died because of football, died playing basketball. People have died playing baseball, there's no sure way to prevent injury or death on the playing field. There's been a lot of restrictions in the sports. Baseball went from aluminum to BSR, and now they have to use BB board in college. Some places have to use wood to minimize the acceleration of the ball coming off the bat to protect mainly your pitchers, third baseman, and first baseman from getting hit with a line drive. In football, they've taken away the helmet-to-helmet contact. They're trying to protect players more and more each day. But there's just all these risks out there that could result in death. Another one of the risks that student athletes face is during travel. A lot of colleges, most recently Michigan, they were on the runway and the plane slipped off the runway. You take that risk in college by all the extensive travel that is done, that your child might be injured or hurt or killed in some type of transportation accident. Here at Central, we take vans or a charter bus. You got 15 people in a van. If something were to happen, get in a wreck or something like that, and you got 15 people in a van, it could be easily for one of them to get injured. Something else that student athletes are at risk for is high levels of stress. Stress isn't something that's inherently bad. It's actually, could be a healthy part of growing up. However, if not managed, that stress could lead to anxiety or substance abuse, lack of sleep, things like that. Most college athletes are spending 30 to 40 hours a week participating in their sport. That's not including classroom time, study time, homework time. Um, they're traveling a lot in season, so they're missing a lot of class. Early morning practices, late night practices. Managing both sport and academic demands could result in an inability to participate in other activities that your child may be interested in. Um, Many student athletes need more sleep than a regular college athlete because of what they're putting their bodies through. They don't get it because they're up at 6 o'clock in the morning doing weights, then going to class, then going to practice, and not getting done till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Then they get to go do their homework. Another frequent source of stress is pressure to perform athletically, whether that's from you, the parent, or us, the coach. Athletes put all this pressure on themselves that stresses them out to succeed. When a sport it becomes a central identity, so does the sport performance. When coaches use an ego performance centered motivational tactic, student athletes tend to experience greater anxiety and distress, which is something that we don't try to do here. We try to make our players feel comfortable, feel relaxed at all times. Now, don't let all these things scare you. It's still rare that most of these severe injuries happen with the amount of players that there are playing each sport versus the amount of people that actually occur these serious injuries. It's a very small ratio. Some of the things we do as coaches and our athletic administrators do to minimize these risks. Of course, I mentioned earlier we have a full-time trainer. We do facilities checks, field maintenance. We do everything that we can to make sure that our playing surfaces are safe for our student athletes. When we travel, we don't, overload the vans or the buses so that our, players are in harm. We do the best we can to take care of them and limit all of these major risks within our power.